Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope y'all are doing well and enjoying your day so far. With the Flank Awards causing a fair bit of controversy last night, we're going to dive into those results today, but also Scump revealing the player on FaZe he would most like to team with going forwards. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm really upset the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing it. First of all, there's been a fair bit of talk, especially the last day or so really, about some of the glitches right now in the beta. Of course, look, at the end of the day, the idea is that it's a beta, therefore things can get fixed. In reality, it's more like a demo, but yeah, with any luck, some of these issues will get fixed going into the real title. There's not exactly what we want to be seeing, and of course, I've also seen some things about like scanner repair. We had a lot of discussion at the early part of last season about scanner repair and the issues that was causing for pros, not only in in practice and stuff like that, but also in their proper league matches, where effectively on certain PCs in certain situations, the game will just crash for seemingly no reason, and you have to get the scanner repair error or whatever. Seems like it can be happening again here in Vanguard, so that's certainly a concern going forwards as well. But to be fair, ILLey starts up his YouTube channel first ever video, V2 nuke in 4 minutes on the Vanguard beta. So this is kind of interesting, right? Especially just because Shotzzy, he's been well, leveling up the content lately, and ILLey seems to be going down a similar path as well. Dashy also tweets this out yesterday. A couple of people are asking me in this. I don't really know what it means. Gentlemen, you have my curiosity, but now you have my attention. So yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore. Still, for me, I'm just waiting, counting down the days until OpTic Dallas might actually confirm their roster. It seems like OpTic as an organization in general does tend to like to take their time with stuff like this, but who knows, maybe it's just around the corner. We believe Seattle might be confirming their roster tomorrow, and there's still a fair few confirmations still to come, right, because a lot of these rosters are still up in the air right now, especially that Washington spot we discussed yesterday, but also Paris Legion. We don't really know what's going on there either, to be perfectly honest. This other was also kind of interesting though, because one player that could find a spot maybe on some of those rosters could be Prestinni, and as he says right here, he's looking to get in a decent shape. This is a couple of days ago on the 17th of September, and he actually liked this tweet here from Zayn, and I don't think he was ever sold on competing another year. He sounds driven to do something else. Prestinni liked this tweet, so maybe indicating that he's thinking about going down the full-time streamer route, but of course, like for Scraps and Waskin, they've gone down that route. It's worked out kind of well for them, or at least Waskin did last year, but still, like once you step out of competitive play, it's very difficult to put yourself back in that position, to be honest. But then he tweets this out just yesterday. Just days ago, I felt like everything was falling apart for me. Now it feels like everything is falling into place, hoping to keep the positivity flowing. So this is really good to see, of course. And what does this mean, right? Does this mean an organization for next year? Does this mean like Washington came in, bought the spot off NRG, and are now like, okay, yeah, Prestinni, I don't know, Methodz or whatever, let's just build around you guys for next year. Maybe that's a possibility, right? But of course, it's tough to read between the lines on situations like this. So let's talk real quick about what happened with the flank last night. First of all, this from Vivid, because that has been the big discussions of late. If I'm Washington, if I'm Paris, if Paris even still exists as an organization next year, I'm thinking Vivid has got to be one of the hottest properties on the market right now. Definitely, well, Ben comes out and says right here that he has some sources that are suggesting that Dallas have certainly been approached a fair few times for, well, for his opportunity to go to another team, because we know that Crimsix, we know that Vivid are both restricted free agents, and Crimsix talked about the, well, his frustrations with even being a restricted free agent in the first place. He believes that if the team doesn't think that they need him going into next year, he should just be an unrestricted free agent to be able to go pretty much wherever he wants to go. But that's not the case with Crimsix or Vivid. There's got to be some buyout situations that go on. Apparently, Vivid is being approached along these lines, and they're trying to get him elsewhere. What team could that potentially be? It's tough to say. I think there's a fair few teams that could benefit from a guy like Vivid, but it doesn't seem as yet that is necessarily going to be happening. So let's talk then about the awards and how these things went. I mean, first of all, of course, we're going to discuss Methodz here, and he was kind of doing some hints once again. So I don't really know if this is hints or he just thought this is a funny TikTok, but this guy, for some reason, he refers to a Diet Coke as a DC. I don't know why he does that, to be honest, but still, I don't know, maybe DC is the new Diet Coke Metro or something. But Washington DC, of course, is the big discussion as to where Methodz could potentially go, and maybe there's some discussions going on there behind the scenes. So let's talk about the flank awards that come out last night. A lot to dive into here, and a fair bit of controversy around some of these awards we will certainly get to. So anyway, first of all, I mean, now live and all this stuff, they do this on the flank. I'll leave the episode down below if you guys want to check the entire thing out. Preseason roster move goes to Arcitys and FaZe. No brainer really here, to be honest. Bringing in Arcitys made that team just unstoppable the entire season, to be honest. They only lost a couple of events, which is pretty ridiculous to think about. Arcitys coming into FaZe, yeah, best preseason move. There was maybe a couple of other candidates, but in terms of results, you can't really look past this one, right? Arcitys was brought in to make this team win grand finals, and because they weren't doing that in the Modern Warfare season, he comes into the team and the team starts winning grand finals. So you really can't look too far past it, to be honest. There certainly was some other ones as well, at least players that maybe were brought onto the sub bench, but in terms of preseason roster moves, it's probably got to go to Arcitys season FaZe. This was a little bit controversial, the best mid-season roster move, depending on how you really consider mid-season. I think Standy to Rokkr was certainly a fantastic move. Immediately as he joined, they looked like a contender. It took them one more change, right, with swapping out MajorManiak for accuracy to actually make them, one of the better teams in the game right towards the end of the title. But even when he joined initially, they were very, very good for a couple of weeks. But still, there has been some questions here, right, given the fact that Insight going to the, Toronto Ultra was also a fantastic move that was made at the start of Stage 2, or pretty sure the start of Stage 2, which technically is that mid-season, right? It's not quite the start of the season, even though he was a substitute on their team already. And I forget if Minnesota brought on Standy a little bit later on. I'm pretty sure he wasn't a substitute or anything. I'm pretty sure they just signed him from like the challenger scene. So I think this move probably qualifies slightly more into the category that they've actually come up with here. And of course, Insight won another award as well. So that's probably why they went down this route. Bance, I think, is the most improved player. No-brainer here. I think fantastic work from Bance this entire season. Great to see after a difficult last couple of years for him, really, to make a massive comeback like this and be one of the best players in the game for a time. And drop that 1.44 KD or whatever he did in the grand finals of the Stage 2 major against FaZe. Definitely Bance has to win something here. Then highlight play of the year goes to accuracy. This is also maybe kind of controversial, right? Best highlight play. There was a fair bit of talk about some other ones that could have been up there. Like there was a fair few clutches as well that happened on the year. I just think that accuracy, this 1v3 is incredibly legendary. Like as difficult as it is, I'm sure, for OpTic fans to remember when they lined up on that Moscow. Certainly something that's going to go down in Call of Duty history for many years to come, right? This will not be forgotten anytime soon. That's why I think that probably in terms of like highlight player of the year, moment of the year, this one has got to be right up there. Rookie of the year goes to Intel. I think there's a no-brainer about that one, what this guy did coming into this roster, and probably why they were thinking, okay, Standy maybe deserves another award. We'll give him like some sort of mid-season roster move, and we'll give Insight this one Rookie of the Year, which I think is certainly fairly deserved. And we also get this, the Mutineers at the World Championship, the best team entrance at the LAN environment. So thought this was really nice at the F3 thing they did there. And Rokkr v Ultra wins the Series of the Year. I think that honestly this kind of falls into a similar category as accuracy. Accuracy's clutch might not have been the craziest skill one in terms of they all lined up for him. Rokkr v Ultra, the individual maps might not have been spectacular, but this is something that won't happen for many years to come. You would imagine a 4-0 comeback to 5-4 in the grand finals of a major. And then the best guest on the flank, here we go. So it goes to Methodz, but there was a bit of controversy here, right? Because a lot of people said that yes, Methodz has probably been the longest standing best guest they've had, but Crimsix, when he has been on, has been unbelievably entertaining. I'm sure we all know about that one. So anyway, Methodz winning this was kind of interesting, right? Because like Crimsix comes out of reply and says, like obviously pretty disappointed with the result. Crimsix feels maybe robbed to some degree, and then someone comes in the reply with this: you literally won, because just as they brought up Methodz, they were going to kind of troll him and bring up that Crimsix had won this, and then they switch over to Methodz actually won it, right? So okay, Crimsix is confused. What is going on right here? Maybe he feels somewhat robbed of this best guest on the flank award, because certainly I think it was a pretty phenomenal one. But in the end, it's Methodz who takes it down. So pretty interesting to see how the season really well went over the course of it. And Crimsix best guest on the flank doesn't quite get the job done in the end. Anthony Methodz he wins it at the end of the day. But I wanted to mention this as well, that Scump came out with. So of course there was a thing going on with the OpTic FaZe stuff out in Los Angeles, and they were doing some things about that. And there was a little bit of content they did. They were kind of asking some of the OpTic and FaZe guys like just various questions, favorite Call of Duty, this type of stuff. It's on TikTok. I guess I can bring it up for you guys right here. There's Drake playing in the background. It's going to get copyright strike, this type of thing. I'll leave this link down below if you guys want to check it out. But right at the end, there's a very brief thing where Scump's kind of being asked which player on FaZe would you like to play with, like a kind of competitive player or just like general FaZe member. And he says, okay, from the competitive side, let's just take aBeZy, right? Like, that's the player that I would most like to team with, and makes sense, right? These guys got on pretty well for many a year, and you can see right here this clip from July that I found where they're playing well, good gas save. So certainly, if I just wonder what happens with FaZe going forwards. You would imagine this team sticks for another couple of years at least. But still, Scump's going to be teaming, we imagine, with Shotzzy this year as his SMG duo, and I'm sure that makes perfect sense, right? Scump can kind of be the slaying SMG, then you need like a hyper aggressive SMG that it seems like aBeZy could be a pretty much perfect fit for any slaying SMG in the entire game. But kind of interesting. Scump would go, I guess, aBeZy over Simp, and maybe that's the thing, like with the power and pull that Scump and OpTic have, given this whole OpTic Dallas thing that's going on, if FaZe start to underperform or something, is there a world in which a Scump aBeZy SMG duo is ever a thing? Probably not. Scump's career may not last too many more years to the point where that's a possibility. And Simp and aBeZy have also said themselves that they expect to be teaming alongside each other for a very long time into the future. But yeah, still kind of interesting to see. If there was one player on FaZe that Scump would like to play with, aBeZy seems to be the answer to that question. I'll leave everything down below for you guys in the comment section below, in the description box below, as always. And just to finish off with this then from Doug said to Martin, it is my year. I think probably everyone has said this at this point, but seriously though, S&D in Vanguard is fire. So he's, well, liking it. I think I've heard mixed reviews on Search and Destroy so far in the beta, let's just say. But yeah, Center seems to be enjoying it. S&D in Vanguard is great, and he's popping 3 pieces on this, what is this called again? Red Star, whatever it is. It's maybe not the best map in the entire game, but still, it reminds me of USS Texas and anything like that. Definitely, well, brings back bad memories, but let's just say this. Can't wait to announce the full roster of Pioneers GG. Doug is getting ready to go. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really upset the YouTube icon. I know you enjoy this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much, as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
100%
I got it.
What are you doing, Doug?
I'm going same thing with you, Byron. Let's go.
Smoke mid as a bit.
I'm gonna challenge low boat, Byron.
Snipe. Maybe ILLey if you're gonna smoke
Yeah.
He's on the right rock heady, back on. Backed up all the way.
99, yo,
They
tabo,
smoked
tabo,
that mid though, they smoked that
Yo,
mid.
tabo,
That's me, that's me.
tabo, yo, Dad, I do not have your help.
Man, I can hold your left side push, okay? I have your left side push.
Nice.
I got 2 top boat. There's 2 top boat on me, guys.
I have your chase dog. I have your chase
Get out.
dog.
If you can get out, it's fine.
I got 3.
Nice.
I have your chase
Alright,
dog.
Doug.
Behind me, Tiny.
I have your chase.
You have me, Eli? Okay, I have low boat. Low boat weak. Low boat weak. Nice. One more top.